Picture this. You wake up to a nightmare. Your iPhone, the lifeline to your messages, bank accounts, medical secrets, and darkest thoughts, totally exposed. The government's got the master key to crack every shred of encryption Apple swore to protect, straight out of a dystopian blockbuster. This isn't sci-fi, it's reality exploding in 2025. In January, the UK government, wielding its shadowy Investigatory Powers Act, dropped a bombshell order on Apple. Install a backdoor into iCloud's advanced data protection, igniting a global firestorm over privacy, security, and power. Apple hit back hard, nuking the feature for UK users in February and launching an epic legal showdown with the Investigatory Powers Tribunal on March 4, 2025. Is this a direct assault on individual freedom, or is it a necessary step to combat crime? Let us examine the dispute and discover the true nature of this conflict. Under the sinister Snoopers Charter, the Investigatory Powers Act of 2016, the UK unleashed a clandestine assault in January 2025, commanding Apple to rip open a backdoor into its advanced data protection, the unbreakable shield encrypting your iCloud, photos, backups, notes, everything. This shattering move hands authorities a global skeleton key to your digital life, all under the guise of criminal probes. Apple's fighting back, roaring that this is an unholy war on your security, while the UK insists it's the only way to hunt down terrorists, predators, and masterminds. For years, Apple has maintained a strong position on encryption. The business contends that once a backdoor is in place, it will eventually be used by hackers and authoritarian governments, in addition to governments. According to a well-known quote from Apple CEO Tim Cook, "You cannot have a backdoor just for the good guys." If Apple complies with the UK's demand, what stops other nations from following suit? A fear echoed by US lawmakers like Senator Ron Wyden and Representative Andy Biggs, who in February 2025 warned that this threatens American security and urged reevaluating US-UK intelligence sharing. Privacy advocates like the Electronic Frontier Foundation call it an emergency for us all, noting that demands from authoritarian regimes with little regard for privacy could exploit such a precedent. The main contention of the UK government is that encryption hinders law enforcement's ability to carry out its duties efficiently. Investigators frequently have trouble accessing suspect communications in high-profile criminal cases. Authorities assert that they can stop child exploitation before it occurs, break criminal networks, and avert terrorist attacks by requiring a backdoor. Here's the gut-punch truth. If Apple cracks open a backdoor, handing over ADP's keys that unlock your private world, keys only you should hold, it's not just the UK cashing in. It's an apocalyptic breach shredding security for everyone, everywhere. Once this Pandora's box is unleashed, hackers will feast on your data, rogue insiders will weaponize it, while tyrannical regimes unleash their dictator's playbook to crush dissent. This isn't a key. It's a doomsday switch, flipping privacy into a free-for-all hackfest. To argue that you do not care about the right to privacy because you have nothing to conceal is no different than claiming you do not care about free speech because you have nothing to say. The well-known whistleblower Edward Snowden cautioned years ago. Removing encryption entails relinquishing control over our online activities. Apple has previously refused requests from the authorities. The FBI requested that Apple unlock a terrorist's iPhone in 2016, who was a part of the San Bernardino incident. Apple said that opening a backdoor would create a risky precedent, so they declined. The FBI ultimately hired a private business more than $1 million to hack the smartphone after the US government sued Apple. The foundation of Apple's brand is privacy. What happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone is emphasized in its advertising efforts. That trust could be destroyed if you give in to pressure from the government. With more than 2 billion Apple devices in circulation globally, any security breach may expose billions of people. Because of this, Apple is prepared to defend its position, even if it means going to war with strong nations. The repercussions might be severe if Apple complies with the UK's request. One option is for privacy-conscious consumers to switch to encrypted platforms like Signal or Proton Mail or other devices. Apple's $3 trillion empire could crash and burn, its security crown shattered, as the industry leader in security. Apple is currently the most valuable business in the world, with a valuation of over $3 trillion. A major financial setback could result from any action that undermines user trust. Apple also has operations in countries with even more stringent encryption regulations, such as China. Would Apple be allowed to reject comparable requests from the governments of China or Russia if it opened a backdoor for the UK? Compliance might pave the way for global privacy violations. Listen up, iPhone warriors, this is your wake-up call. You're no crook, but encryption's your daily shield, guarding your selfies, bank vault, medical files, and secret chats. See it now, Apple's ironclad fortress guarding your life until a backdoor blasts it open on a hacker's screen. If this happens, your life's on the edge, ready to be raided in a heartbeat. Suppose that hackers manage to gain access to the backdoor. Millions of iPhone users may suddenly be at risk of financial fraud, identity theft, and blackmail. Online leaks of your private discussions are possible. This is a valid worry that is shared by cybersecurity professionals all across the world. It is not paranoia. Law-abiding citizens have nothing to worry, according to governments. History, however, indicates differently. Even well-meaning policies can be exploited, as seen by numerous instances of government overreach, data leaks, and mass surveillance operations. Snowden disclosed in 2013 that the NSA was secretly gathering information on millions of innocent Americans. What would prevent the UK from following suit if they were able to access encrypted devices? Think the UK's the only puppet master? Think again, this is a power grab with no leash. The Snoopers Charter hands shadow overlords a blank check to spy with secret orders and zero accountability. Who's stopping them from turning your iPhone into their plaything? If Apple's legal clash in March 2025 fails, this unchecked tyranny could greenlight a global surveillance cartel, every nation craving a piece of your soul. Who watches these watchers when the curtains drop and the hackfest begins? But wait, Apple's not alone in this war zone. Will Google, Meta, and the tech titans armor up their empires or cave in to the backdoor blitz? If the UK's 2025 power play wins, these giants could be forced to strip their defenses, turning your Androids and WhatsApps into spy machines too. Picture a world where every app bends the knee, your digital life a free-for-all for the highest bidder. Will these kings of tech fight or fold in this privacy Armageddon? If Apple yields to the UK's January 2025 order, it could trigger a chain reaction, with governments like the US, EU, or even authoritarian regimes demanding similar access, a scenario now under scrutiny as Apple's March 2025 legal challenge with the UK's Investigatory Powers Tribunal could set a global precedent. This might force tech giants like Google and Meta to weaken their encryption too, reshaping digital security worldwide. Tech firms may have to reduce the strength of their encryption or risk being shut out of some markets. Advocates for privacy worry that this might result in a society where digital surveillance is commonplace. This could be a chance for nations with repressive regimes to repress opposition leaders, journalists, and activists. In order to guarantee that privacy continues to be a fundamental right rather than a privilege, businesses such as Apple, WhatsApp, and Signal are retaliating. Apple's dispute with the UK government is about more than simply one business breaking the law. It is about the greater conflict between privacy and government monitoring. Law enforcement organizations contend that encryption makes it more difficult to conduct criminal investigations. However, privacy activists caution that millions of innocent people are at risk due to compromised encryption. The stakes are really high. The future of digital privacy may be shaped for generations if Apple maintains its position. However, if it gives in to pressure, the globe may go closer to a surveillance regime in which no private moment, no transaction, and no discussion are actually private. Now it's your turn to join the revolution. Will Apple's tribunal clash lock down privacy or unleash a surveillance nightmare? What's your verdict? Should Apple bow to the UK's power grab or fight like hell to lock down your privacy forever? Drop your battle cry in the comments. This isn't just a debate, it's the war for your digital soul, and every voice counts.